Hello guys, Speedrad here, and today I would like to talk. What we are going to talk about? I have a really good experience with my Hunter deck, and this deck is made just it's made just with basic cards, with just basic minions and a few hero class spell, and of course we are going to talk about this deck, about cards in it, about some tactics, and basically just about a Hearthstone. So let's see what we can do. I just switch for my Hearthstone and we can go. We are ready to go. So I've been playing with this deck a lot, and as you can see, I'm in Platina right now. Platina with 2 stars, with Hunter deck made up just with basic cards. I've named it Arena like Hunter deck because it was completed just simple way. You take your hero, for example Shaman, and click here for suggest a card, and just grabbing cards like it would be in arena draft. But unfortunately this draft is offering you first your hero card, so for this Shaman you just taking these cards you have unlocked as hero cards. If you play with this hero, you gaining these cards, for example this Rockbiter weapon, ancestor healing. You don't have these cards at the beginning. I guess you have Stormforge Axe, Wind Fury, Frost Shock, and maybe that Rockbiter weapon, and that's it. Other cards you need to unlock. This is from a pack. You can recognize it by because this is not a spell, and you've got just spells. So we are going to done. No, we don't wanna keep it. We just discard it, and we will take a look for Arena like Hunter. It's my deck made it by this way, and because that thing about you first gaining your hero cards and then some minions from neutral cards, I've slightly changed it. I've throw away some cards I didn't want to and replace them with some cards with better synergy with others. So what we've got here, I have almost just basic collection of cards, almost. Certainly I have new cards, but we are going to change it for just basic set. You can't have cards you needed to gain from packs in neutral cards, but unfortunately it's not working for your hero cards, because I've got my Houndmaster. No, it's working for hero cards. My mistake. So let's see what we've got here. We've got 2 Hunter's Marks. This card you need to earn through play with Hunter. It's here for basic removal. If someone like Priest, for example, take out heavy creature and then even buff it to have 14 or even 30 health. Priests are able to do this, so be careful about it. You just take it down for 1 health, and then you can use your Arcane Shot. I also have one to kill it, or you just basically trade for the most useless creature on board you have. Or it's even really good for taunt neutralization if he has 2 or more creatures on the board, because you can use multi-shot. It's paying for itself. It's if there are 2 creatures on the board. I have 2 multi-shots because it's a bit RMG. 2 random enemy minions. You can see it here. What we've got next? Tracking. It's just a little card draw, just 1 card draw. This deck certainly lacks card draw a lot, because I have for card draw just this tracking, which you replace 1 card for another, and it even has one mana to unit. It has even cost 1 mana, so you need half that mana in the turn you want to use it, and sometimes it can screw your plans if you want to play, for example, some combo of creatures, Houndmaster and Bloodfen Raptor, which is cost 6. You have currently 6 mana, and you want another creature, or you won't gain that Bloodfen Raptor. It has slightly it has small gap in it, because you have this turn for just 6 mana, and you are 1 mana short for using tracking, for gaining Bloodfen Raptor and then Houndmaster. But it synergizes quite well. Then Elven Archer. It's basically as well removal. I like Elven Archer with combination with these Hunter's Marks, because you don't have a trait creature and even get one on the board. You use its battle cry. And it's also basic minion. It's first minion in neutral cards. What do we have next? Timberwolf. It's one of the cards you need to unlock by playing as a hunter. Then 2 Swamp Ooze. Acidic Swamp Ooze is a card you take in every circumstances, because you need it against rogue, against warrior, against paladin, and sometimes against hunter as well, and sometimes against shaman as well. The only 2 classes with no weapon are priest and mage. Other classes can have a weapon. Priest can have a weapon if he take it from your deck or from your hand by his mana vision, mind vision or thought steal. Thought steal takes 2 cards from your deck and put copy of these cards into his hand, and mind vision take 1 random card from your hand. Priests certainly use it for at first turn for knowing what they need to be prepared, and what makes you upset in this case mostly if you have 2 minions on a board with 3 lives with 3 lives or less, and multi-shot in your hand. Priest use thought steal and take this multi-shot. It screw you unbelievably. So you have to deal with it, but Acidic Swamp Ooze destroying all weapons. Even weapons made it by some other cards. I don't know if it's in basics, seems not. Never mind. Acidic Swamp Ooze you wanna take in all circumstances. I have here 2 of these, as well 2 of Hunter's Marks, as well as other things I have twice, because very often you need to use it twice, because there's no exception that warriors taking 2 weapons, paladins taking 2 silver of 2 true silver of champion, etc, etc, etc. So I've got 2 acidic swamp oozes. Starving Buzzerd, as I said, for card draw. I'm lacking of card draw because I've just tracking once Starving Buzzerd and 1 Gnomish Inventor. It sometimes screw you over well because you burn all your hand and then You are rolling your dice with top decking, but never mind. What we've got here next? Animal Companion. For Hunter it's definitely very useful card, and if you roll the dice with this one, mostly you get what you need, and if you don't, it's not that bad, because you can have a few good traits with it. Leog, for example, helps you same way like a raid leader, but it has 2 more health and it's for the same cost, so it's really good. Charging Boar can help you to deal with some heavier taunt or some damaged creature, some damaged heavy hitter you need to take care of right now. Misha can save you if you are lacking of taunt, but this deck has enough taunt, I guess. It's a really good card. Ironfur Grizly. It's easy to be removed taunt, but sometimes it saves you, because opponent has to hit it. If he is playing some aggro deck, this card is what you want to use, because he has to hit it and he as well loses his creature, because aggro decks are basically small cost creatures with small health, like for example this Wolf Rider, and it's for the same cost. So it's not that good taunt, but it saved me a lot, many times. Raid Leader. It's a really good card for its cost, because your other minions have +1 attack and it counts for all of them. You need put this one behind the taunt, otherwise it just dies immediately, because it's easily to be traded, and mostly enemy creature stays alive because he has something like Shattered Sun Cleric or another creature with more than 2 health. Shattered Sun Cleric. I have just one right now, but I've had 2 of these guys in my deck. It's a really good card for its cost. It buffs another cards, so if you want to play this card, you want has as well something on the board. It's sometimes hard to keep your board advantage, but sometimes it saves your minions for 1 more turn, and it deals even more damage if it's buffed. What do we've got next? Multi-shot. I've been talking about it. and Gnomish Inventor. Some card draw with this, and it stays alive for 2 traits most of the times, so it's solid card. If you can count, we have 1, 2, 3. Swamp Ooze isn't beast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 beasts, and as a buff for these beasts are really good Houndmasters, because it synergizes quite well with Bloodfen Raptor. You've got 2 creatures on the board, and one of them is basically BootyBayBodyguard. It requires 6 mana if you want to do that combo in 1 turn, or it requires 2 turns when you can put Houndmaster in turn 3 if you are lucky and you've got a coin and you have your Bloodfen Raptor on a board. That's most successful combo if Bloodfen Raptor is on a board and it is live, of course, and you've got 4 mana or 3 mana and coin. You can buff it and you gain BootyBayBodyguard and Spellbreaker on a board for 6 cost, which is like half of it, because BootyBayBodyguard cost 5 and it's cheapest way to gain these 2 cards on a board. 2 minions with same stats, to be honest, to be exact. Then we've got Sen'jin Shieldmaster. It's the best taunt you can have, I guess, because most of the times it stays alive. It's really annoying to play with the priest, because your Ironfur Grizly, your Sen'jin Shieldmaster and your buffed Bloodfen Raptor or your BootyBayBodyguard, all of these guys can just die with his card, and that card, I mean Shadow Ward, Pain or Death, it doesn't matter. He can easily remove all your taunts, so in that case it's the best use Houndmaster and Starving Buzzerd, or if you're lucky you can get Misha as animal companion, because priest can't easily get rid of things with 4 attack. But if you buff it, you're basically against yourself. If you play with the priest, unless he's burned all of his shadow words, he can have he can have 2 Shadow Words of Death and 2 Shadow Words of Pain. BootyBayBodyguard, it's outstanding, but it's taunt which is easily to be removed. At least sometimes it has a really good trait, or same as Ironfur Grizly, it can save you in some situations. DarkscaleHealer, this guy I have in my deck just because it's with same stats as Chilvinedi. Otherwise I would take this one, and it has restored 2 health battle cry, and that's really good with your taunts if they are damaged, or other minions, it doesn't matter. Erostwolf Warlord, it was much bigger threat before wipe and patch, but it's a good card even this way, because but it's situational, because you have to hit some of your minions on the board, otherwise it just stays 4/4 with 5 cost, and that's not ideal. But it could be good. It can deal good punch if you have at least 1 minion on the board. Gurabashi Berseker, it's just wonderful card. Very often it's a bullet magnet, so you can use it as a bullet magnet to keep your other stuff alive, or you can use it if you are successful with some combo. It really good synergizes with Elven Archer, because if you have 6 mana or 5 mana and coin, you just ping it and hit for 5 immediately. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't do that immediately. You just ping it in that turn. Gurabashi Berseker can attack. It's good for dealing a taunt, it's good for give some punch to your opponent. Then I've got really solid card, Boulderfist Oger. Some heavy hitter or removal. It can serve as one of these, or as a bullet magnet for priests with their Shadow Word Death. And then you can pull out your Stormwind Champion, and he buffs your other stuff, so that's quite nice if priests burn their cards or on something you could use, but it's not that painful loss like Stormwind Champion or Gurabashi Berseker already buffed a lot and healed. So that is this deck basically. As you can see, it's lacking of card draw, it's lacking of heavy removal, it's basically all around the creatures, but it's solid deck. It makes you think before you play, because you have a lot of possible combos. For example, Elven Archer with Hunter's Mark, Elven Archer with Gurabashi Berseker, Gurabashi Berseker with DarkscaleHealer, because you run into some minion with just 1 or 2 attack, and then you heal your Gurabashi Berseker. Elven Archer is also something you can always put on the board for at least 1/1 for Erostwolf Warlord. We have 8, I guess. I can't remember right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, we have 8 beasts, so Timberwolf synergizes quite well with another beasts. Raid Leader, solid card for its cost. It's in general buffs all your stuff. Shattered Sun Cleric can buff practically anything. Houndmaster is much better because you gain +2/+2 taunt and +1 attack for your buffing card for just 1 more cost. Almost all stats are 1 more. But it synergizes with just beasts. Thankfully we have enough of beasts in this deck. Solid amount. We have decent amount of taunts, so you can play even defensively. You have some removal for early or mid game in form of multi-shot, or some cheap creatures you can sacrifice. You can you have some removal for later game if you maintaining mostly your board control and your opponent doesn't have more than 2 creatures and less than 2 creatures. To be exact, the best way you can use it is if opponents have exactly 2 creatures on a board, but sometimes he has more. And in that case you are praying to RNG gods to be merciful. But most of the times it's solid choice, solid pick. We have a lot of creatures you can give you buffs, which means Timberwolf, Leok in Animal Companion form. It's kinda RNG, but never mind. You have Raid Leader, you have Sun Cleric, you have Houndmaster, you have DarkscaleHealer, you have Stormwind Champion. It all gives you buffs, so I guess that's pretty solid deck. I will put its content into the description down below this video. Mana curve, as you can see, isn't that bad. It's around 3 cost, so most of the times you can play 3 you can play 2 or 3 minions in the one turn, so that's great. And it's really good deck because I'm saying it because I've got with my deck into Platinum, and with just these basic cards. So I'm gonna show you how it stands in this league, and because I'm not lucky, I will just screw this game, or I gain some priest with a lot of buffs, a lot of nonsense, or just pure spell, pure mage. And this deck certainly don't have much ways to deal with it unless you are lucky in card draw and rush your opponent. So let's see how it goes. Today I'm not that lucky. I have a lot of screwed ups. I've been trying to play arena because I wanted to record another episode, but you know what, guys, this was disaster and you don't want to see it. I've made some mistakes even when I was recording it, so it was really bad, and I hope at least this will be better. So I like my hand. I'm gonna keep it. I go second, so that's even better. This deck is doing pretty well if you are second, because you have certain advantage against your opponent. Coin is one of them. Knowing with what you are dealing with. Second. And because I wanna keep this starving Buzzerd alive, I'm gonna use my Hunter's Mark. It's kind of waste, but I want to get at least one card draw from my Buzzerd, because I certainly don't have other ways to gain card draw. And yeah, we've got the Huffer, so we're gonna sacrifice him and hit our opponent again. For next turn we've got Houndmaster possible. He can consecrate, which is certain risk, but this is not that case. Oh, you bastard, you've got Owl in your hand. Okay, what we can do?
I'll give it a shot.
We killed the Owl. Kill the token and put on a taunt. It will synergize as well with Ironfur Grizly.
I am not a morning person.
Reporting for duty.
Or I can multi-shot. And deal with his part of board, keep my board advantage. Next turn I can restore my minion's health. Is it gonna be consecration? Another owl. Okay.
Reporting for duty.
And he's gonna trade for my Buzzerd. Oh, he's going for right for me. Which is surprising. So I'm gonna heal my guys. Wait for these two and keep our board advantage. This is going good enough for now.
Reporting for duty.
And he's pulling out Erostwolf Champion. What you are gonna do? If nothing, it's waste because I'm sitting on Swamp Ooze. Okay, it's going to be waste anyway. I hit you, and you have to sacrifice your token with some buff to get through my Buzzerd.
What you want?
Oh, well. That's unfortunate.
Reporting for duty.
Armor of life. Okay. He's dealing with my damage potential. This guy stays alive. This guy stays alive. And I've got board advantage. Next turn he's dead unless he somehow clears my side.
Reporting for duty.
Okay. That's probably noble sacrifice or eye for an eye. Let's see what he's up to. I've burned my cards right now.
Pass me that Arclight spanner.
Animal companion. Yeah, it's noble sacrifice.
Get down!
And I'm glad I get rid of it and take some use of it. I could play my raid leader, but I wanted to give him one more turn. He's basically on 1 health and I can kill him in any circumstances, and he's giving up because he don't have health heal. So as you can see, this deck is doing pretty well. I'm gonna go for one more round. If I will... If I run into something what counters my deck, like pure spell mage, or almost pure spell, with 2 mirror images and a lot of taunt, because I'm not able to go through this. Elven Archer is not gonna be option here, because it would die immediately, so I like this hand more. I'm not going to play for first turn anything, because one thing is I don't have anything to play, second thing he would just ping it with his fireball. Ooze isn't gonna help us because mage generally don't have a weapons, so I let him ping it. And play Animal Companion. He's going to get 7 damage this turn, and he can't do anything about it. Houndmaster. It's wonderful, because I have 6/3 taunt. He need to burn another spell to deal with it, otherwise it's gonna hit him pretty hard. This guy seems to be spell heavy as well. I hate spell heavy mage decks, because it's hard to deal with this with just minions. Yeah, he's gonna fireball it. Never mind. Against mage I have to count with such thing.
Time runs out on me.
It's pity, because if he wouldn't kill it, I could have more of a use. I'm not gonna play Raptor, because he can have things like Flame Strike, and I already have something on the board, so I don't necessarily need pull out other things. And he's such a bastard. Yeah, he get rid of my things, and if I would have something else on the board, it would just die in that turn, so
the sun well.
it has it has no sense to sacrifice your creatures if you don't have to. What else you've got? Arcane missiles. Wonderful. Another arcane missiles. Okay. My guy died. But I have heal. He burned all of these arcane missiles and I can hit him. It's slightly dangerous. Leave that Geomancer on the board. But I hope he pulls out one more creature to multi-shot it. But this guy is spell heavy, so I can't count on it. I just count on at least one of these guys survive.
Tazdingo!
And this is time for a multi-shot.
Where shall I strike?
And this is even better than I hoped for. He just killed my Bloodfen Raptor because he can ping it, or use something. First bolt and ping. Okay, that works. But this one mana worm can get quickly out of control. This has more chance to survive, and I use all of my mana. He certainly needs to get rid of this guy, otherwise he's dead right now.
I wonder.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Oh. That looks dangerous. Polymorph. Okay. Have you something else? No.
The Frostwolves stand ready.
We have to do it in correct sequence to gain all possible buffs. I'm lucky on card draw this game, but it could be really quickly opposite way. Pyroblast, great, pink. Okay, you're dead next turn. If you can't kill me, like he can't, because he already burned one of his pyroblast, and that Azure Drake isn't gonna help him because he has just 5 mana. Yeah, he conceded. So here you can see, guys, the strength of this deck, but I'm certainly going to show some weaknesses in the future if I'm gonna be recording my failures. So that's it for today, and if you have questions, just send me mail. If you wanna me to discuss more some cards, just let me know in the comments down below. There are many ways to do it, so my Facebook, my G+ pages are here for you. Comments down below this video is here for you. My email is on my G+ website, and it's public, so you can visit it even if you don't have a G+ profile. And this all, guys, for today, and see you next time.